Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Serene, and today I am here to do part 3 to my homelessness series. I know it's been long overdue. I think I posted the last video maybe 5 weeks ago, over a month ago. And everyone has been asking me for the third part, and I think the third part is the most important part because part 1 and part 2 was just telling you about what happened. I did have a video recorded and done for that, but I decided not to post it just because I needed to come and give more like a disclaimer before or after those 2 videos have been posted, because shit hit the fan, or the fan hit the shit when I posted those 2 videos, and I am not entirely sure why, because I don't think that the videos were particularly about anyone. I felt that I was just telling what happened to me from my perspective. So their reaction, or whoever reaction to my videos, whether good or bad, it's okay that that was a reaction. I am very unbothered, and I don't really care about the reaction because the video wasn't meant to make anyone in particular react. The video was just for me to be able to speak my truth. I think by now you obviously know what the disclaimer is. The disclaimer is this has nothing to do with you. This is not about you. It wasn't about you. I needed people to understand how I am able to give advice. Because I think one thing is that people give advice and people believe that they know and all of that jazz. But the people that give the best advice or the most useful advice, I think, are people that have the lived experience. So basically, the first thing that happened was, obviously, thank God for good friends. And I would always say that if I was a mean person, or the person that most people thought or was trying to play me out to be, obviously I would really not have anywhere to go. But I had good friends. So one thing is, never be too afraid to tell someone about your situation. If I had not said anything, I wouldn't have had anywhere to go. I probably would have ended up going home and then probably writing my paper from the BVI, just because if I was too embarrassed to let my friends, the ones that were really close to me, that knew that while studying my master's, I was not very comfortable with my living situation, or I wasn't happy about how everything was playing out. If I was too embarrassed to tell them, like, I wouldn't have had anywhere to go. I would have probably, if I hadn't gone home, I would have ended up in a shelter. And obviously, ended up in a shelter, you never know what could happen. You never know, like, and this is, I think a lot of people need to realize, if you are on the other end of having put someone out or something like that, especially when you know this person has nowhere to go, or they have no family in the area, stuff like that, you need to consider that you are solely responsible for what happens to that person after that. And if you're putting out people that are deemed as vulnerable, and when I say vulnerable people are people with mental health issues, vulnerable people are pregnant women, vulnerable people are women and children. And if you're putting out someone that is vulnerable, you need to be able to accept whatever repercussions come with you making a decision like that. Because if that person was to lose their life at the hand of someone else, then you need to know that directly and indirectly that was your fault. And that's just, and it's a hard pill to swallow, but it is a fact. You need to be able to deal with all the consequences that could come with it, because anything could come out of it. You never know where this person might end up. You never know who this person might end up telling. You never know what might happen, and you need to be conscious about stuff like that. But obviously, it's always good when someone has if someone in that situation has someone that they can lean to, they can turn to. So obviously, my friends took me in. If you know me, then you know I am a very proud person, and that works in my favor, and it does not work in my favor. Because of my proudness, I'm afraid to ask for help. I'm afraid to show people that I'm vulnerable. I feel like that's one of the reasons why, is because I feel like people take advantage of your vulnerability, and they exude a certain aura and presence and power that sometimes is just uncalled for. So the help that you usually get from them doesn't seem genuine. because they nitpick and they grab at everything. And it's not even like, and while it might not be intentional on their end, it's about how how that other person receives it, because communication is not just about what you do, it's how the other person understands your communication. And you can't stab someone and tell them not to bleed. You can't do something to someone and tell them not to have a reaction. People are human, and how they react, yes, whether you think it might be wrong or right, that is their reaction. And at the end of the day, upset or not, you kind of have to accept that that is just their reaction. Another thing is, obviously, if you're not from a country, so for instance, I'm not from the UK, I don't understand their benefit system, I don't understand their social system. Another thing that you should do and you're supposed to do, or I think would be advisable to do, is to have a conversation with someone from this country, and you'll be surprised the wealth of knowledge and the wealth of help that is there for you that you just don't know about. It's untapped, you just don't know that it exists. That's another thing. Sometimes we're quick to rush into things, and I think a lot of people felt like, I know a lot of people felt that I was being picky about where I wanted to live and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I had to remember, or I remember the situation that I was in and how uncomfortable it was living with other people, and how uncomfortable it would be not knowing who I would be living with generally, especially since I wouldn't be a student. If I'm a student, like, I think it's different. But I would have been working full time. I need to be sure that when I go home I can relax. I can, I'm not living with other students or anyone that parties too much. I needed to be sure that I would be safe. I needed to be sure that I would be free to do whatever I would like in the place that I'm living without offending anyone. So I needed to be sure that I picked the right place. And a lot of people were like, I'm too picky, I need to just find a room. So another thing, the council is a place to go when you experience stuff like this. I had to register myself as homeless. And this is how I know the council is helpful and not helpful. I went to the council. I spoke to a gentleman at the council, and he literally told me that he understands that I'm homeless, but there's nothing that the council can do because I'm not pregnant, I don't have children, I'm not mentally ill. The fourth reason was that I'm working full time. So this is what I say when I say that I needed to come on here and give advice to people that would be in a situation like that, but in the predicament that I was in. Because obviously I was homeless, but I was working and I was earning an income. I didn't have any kids, I don't have any children. I'm not pregnant, I wasn't pregnant. And I don't have any mental issues. So I wasn't at the top of the list of concern for the council. So that made my search for accommodation even harder, because even if I was to try and find council accommodation, they weren't willing to help me because I'm not important. And this is what I'm saying when I say that people that are indirectly or directly the result of someone being homeless, they need to be able to live with their decision and not be upset when this person decides to speak or whatnot. Because what you think you're doing or what they think that they are doing, although they might feel justified in it, it doesn't negate the fact that if something happens to that person, you are responsible. I did end up going back to the council again, set up an appointment, went with them, spoke to them, and they finally decided that, yeah, they're going to register me as homeless. And I had about 60 days to find accommodation, and their advice was like, you need to find accommodation because you're not the type of girl that is going to be able to probably live in the type of accommodation that we're probably going to find for you. So you need to find accommodation on your own, and you need to be very active in finding accommodation. But at the end of I think they gave me 60 days or 56 days or something like that. At the end of those days, if you don't find anything, then we're going to have to find something for you. So I went into beast mode. When I tell you, I will go into work for 7:30 in the morning, and I would finish. I would just do my work, just keep my head down, do my work, get my work done. And I would leave work at 3:45 or 3:30 so that I could make viewings all over Birmingham. I would go to 2 viewings within a day. I would go to literally every day I had a viewing, and I would see places and I'd be like, I can't live here. So I needed to be in an area where I felt safe. I needed to be in an area that I knew that if I'm coming from work or I'm coming from anywhere, because I can't be a shut in, you know, like if I wanted to go anywhere and I'm coming home late, like I'll be able to go to my apartment, get into my apartment safely and feel like I am okay. So I couldn't just pick any old place in a cubby hole. I'm a woman, I'm not a guy. And all those things I had to think about, all those things had to be factored into my decision making and stuff like that, and just the type of areas I wanted to be in. It's a tough one to go through, but in terms of being homeless, what I can definitely say about being homeless in the UK is, one, do not be afraid to ask for help. Do not be afraid to speak to someone. Do not be ashamed that this is the situation that you're in, and that's the issue that I had, and I think that's what kept me back for so long, because I was genuinely ashamed of not having anywhere to be, because I never would have expected that my life would have led me in this direction. So don't be ashamed of your situation, basically. Don't be afraid to speak to someone about it. So talk to people. Don't be ashamed or afraid to speak about it. Don't be afraid or ashamed to go to the council and ask for help. Nothing is wrong with council housing. To each their own. I personally would have preferred not to be in council housing. But if council housing is what you can get, there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with council housing. So don't be afraid to go to the council. Don't be afraid to follow it up with them and basically show them that you actually need the help, because I think it's easy for them to just turn people away, which in obviously the first time they turned me away, but I didn't know any better. Like I was just told to go to the council. I didn't know any better. I didn't know how to make them listen to me. I just let him tell me that I'm fine basically and walked away. So there's that. Be purposeful in finding accommodation and finding the accommodation that is best suitable for you. Yes, I know you're homeless, but if you do have anyone that you could lean on a bit, don't be afraid to actively search for accommodation, because you do not want to be in a situation where you get into an accommodation and then you end up having to leave, or you end up having to look for somewhere else to, because trust me, trying to find a house in the UK is so hard. That's another thing, side note, like obviously I have my mom, she doesn't understand, and my mom will call me every day like, have you found something, oh this then that, and she never understood the difficulty and the amount of things that have to go into deciding where you want to live. So that's another thing sometimes. And it came to the point where I decided that I was just done. I wasn't speaking to her about living anywhere anymore. Like our conversations never used to rear off in that direction, just because I didn't want to explain and explain and explain and explain. And sometimes just for your own sanity, this is another point to take down, for your own sanity, sometimes you just need to let people know that you're okay, but you don't need to involve them in every aspect of it, because outside of the people that housed me and the people that made me homeless, those were the only people that knew that I was homeless. Like, no, and my co-workers, because they were helping me with the council thing and stuff like that. Outside of that, no one knew. And if you know me, I post everything on social media. Okay, well, not everything, but like I do post on social media regularly, but I never post that. Like, no one knew, unless I physically told you with my mouth. You did not know that I didn't have anywhere to go, because I post the things that I don't post the things that matter to me. I don't post the people that I care about or the things that affect me the most. If it affects me, you'll find out after I'm over it. After I'm over it, then you'll know, and you could be like, oh damn, you went through that. But while I'm going through it, you won't know, because I'm not telling anyone. It's for me to deal with. So so don't be afraid to speak to anyone. Don't be ashamed of speaking to anyone or speaking about the fact that you're homeless. Seek help. Be purposeful in finding accommodation. Keep your friends, the ones that you can keep those, because obviously this is a situation that would define what friendships are to you and who are actually really friends to you. So keep your friends close, the ones that you can actually be close with. Decide who you want to share your story with. Not everyone needs to understand the full process. Some people just need to know that you're okay. So decide who you want to share your story with. And number 6, when you are no longer homeless, remember to thank God or to thank whatever higher power you believe in, and just give thanks. But obviously when I came out of it, I thank God because I'm Christian and I believe in Jesus Christ. So be thankful at the end of it, because this is a situation that makes and breaks some people, and if you come out on the receiving end of victory, then it made you and it didn't break you, and we thank God. So on that note, this ends part 3 and the end of my homelessness series. I thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I don't have to come back on here and talk about anything so deep, because I want my channel to be a fun channel. And you know, this was really serious, and this was something that was very personal to me. And I thank you guys so much for the encouragement, the amount of people that DM'd me and encouraged me and told me to be strong and like not let that situation define me, and just encouraged me in the way and the path that I'm going, and to be strong and not to let anything like pull me down and get me down. I thank you guys so much, because I was getting so much slack for my videos, and it was just nice to know that someone understood the purpose of my video, and it wasn't about bashing anyone. It was about speaking about my story and realizing that the strength that I have, because it messed with me mentally, and I don't think a lot of people understood that. They just thought that it was about them. But nonetheless, I thank you guys for watching. I thank you for the support. I thank you for over 100 subscribers, and thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate it, because I really want to get this YouTube thing going. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and to share my videos with everyone and anyone that you know will need help. So thank you guys. Bye.